Welcome back everyone. Today I'll be taking you guys on addition and subtraction of algebraic fraction, which has to be part 3 of our videos. Do well to listen. Now let me assume I have something like x over 2 plus, or let me say 2x squared, 1 all over 2x squared, all over 2 all over, let me say x. In situation of addition and subtraction, what you must do is to ensure that you take the LCM of the denominators. And the LCM of 2x squared and x. 2 into 2x squared gives me s squared, and here gives me x. S into s squared gives me x, and here gives me 1, and x again gives me 1, 1. So the LCM is what? 2x squared. If I have 2x squared as my LCM, the next thing I should do is to divide through with this denominator and this denominator. 2x squared divides 2x squared, I'll have 1 bracket 1 plus x. 2x squared divided by x will give me what? 2x. I'll have multiplied by my 2. 1 times 1 is 1 plus 2x times 2 will give me what? 4x all over what? 2x squared. So this is my answer for this kind of an expression. So this from my head. Henceforth, I'll be using our textbook to give us what? Examples. Thank you. So we have another example of on the board, which is EX4. We have 3a minus b all over 5ab minus 2b plus 3c all over 6bc plus 3c minus 2a all over 15ac. Again, what we must do is to take our LCM. And our LCM is what? 5ab, 6bc, and 15ac. We have to get the LCM of this what? 3 different terms. Now I can go with 5. 2 first. 2 into here cannot. I'll have 5ab, and 2 here will give me 3. I'll have bc. 2 here cannot. I'll have 15ac. Then the next number will be 3. 3 cannot go into 5, so I still have 5ab. 3 into 3bc will give me what? bc. 3 here will give me 5ac. Now 4 cannot go, so I'll use 5. 5 go will give me what? ab. 5 go cannot, bc. 5 here, ac. If a goes, I'll have b, bc, and c. If b goes, I'll have 1, C, C. And if C goes, I'll have 1, 1, 1. So my LCM will be 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5, 30. So I have LCM to be equals to what? 30 ABC. Now I'll use my LCM again to multiply each term, all divided by the LCM. So I have 30 ABC in brackets 3a minus b all over 5ab, close brackets, minus, here I'll use a square bracket, because if I do not, then the negative sign will be affected, will only affect 2b. So I have in brackets 30 abc multiplying 2b plus 3c all over 6bc, close brackets, close the square brackets, plus 30 ABC, open brackets, 3c minus 2a, all over 15ac, all divided by 30 ABC. So yeah, 5 into 30 will give you 6. AB we cancel AB, so we have 6c in brackets 3a minus b. Minus in bracket, square brackets, 6 into 30 is 5. BC we cancel BC, so I have 5a in brackets 2b plus 3c plus 15 into 30 is 2, and a and c we cancel. I have 2b multiplying 3c minus what? 2a, all divided by our LCM, which is 30abc. Now you can take note, whenever LCM is taken, The values used in getting the LCM, we always divide the LCM without a remainder. So I'll now expand. 6 times 3 is 18. C times A is AC. Always write it alphabetically, don't write CA. Minus CC times B will give me 6BC, not CB. In minus sign, brackets, 5 times 2 is 10. A times B is AB. 5 times 3 is 15. A times C is AC. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. B times C is BC. 2 times 2 is 4. B times A is AB. All divided by 30ABC. Now, I will have 18AC minus 6BC. Negative times invisible positive is negative. I'll have my 10AB. Minus plus is what? Minus, I'll have my 15AC plus 6BC minus 4AB. All divided by our X here, 30ABC. I'll have to clean this side. So I'll try to rearrange my terms. I have 18AC. I equally have 15AC. So I have 18AC minus 15AC. Trying to minimize space. So I have 18AC minus 15AC. Remember, they are not crossing equality signs, so the signs remain the same. Minus 6BC plus 6BC minus 10AB minus 4AB, all divided by our LCM, 30ABC. Now, 18 minus 15 will give you what? 3. I'll attach my AC. Minus 6BC plus 6BC will cancel to give you 0. And minus 10AB minus 4AB will give you minus 14AB. All over 30ABC. Now, there's nothing in common other than A. So, factor out A. So, I have A brackets 3C, because 3AC divided by A will give me 3C. Minus 14B, AB divided by A will give me 14B. All over 30 ABC. So A can cancel A here, giving me 3C minus 14B all over 30BC. So we have 6 all over A minus 2B plus 4 all over 2B minus A. We have to simplify, but remember we are dealing with addition and subtraction. Now, you have to be careful in this, because if you look at it at first, you think this is the LCM and also this is the LCM. That's this and this multiply will give you the LCM. There's not that way. So let's start. Let's write our 6 and A minus 2B the way it is being written. Put my plus sign, 4 all over. I can rearrange the denominator of this so that my A can come first just like this. But this is negative A plus what? 2B. This is an invisible plus positive sign for the 2B. Now, if you take note, you see that y here is positive A, here is negative A. And y here is negative 2B, here is positive 2B. What we ought to do here is this. If I change this sign, these signs automatically change. So I have 6 all over A minus 2B. If I change this as negative, all this will change towards A minus what? 2B. If you follow my previous video, I can do it in another way. I can decide to leave my positive sign here, and I'll have my 4 all over negative A plus what? 2B. If I should put a negative sign here, then I must put a negative sign here, which will give me plus minus 4 all over. Minus minus will give me positive A. Minus plus will give me negative what? 2b. And these two signs we work at. Plus times minus will give me minus 4 all over a minus 2b, which is the same as what I have here. So continuing from this, I'll simply have my XCM now as one of them since they are same to give me a minus what? 2b. And I'll multiply with my XCM. To make it easier, I can simply have my SCM as a minus what? 2b. If a minus 2b divide this, it will give me 1. I'll have my 6 minus. If this divide this, I will only have 1 bracket 4. It's same as multiplying the entire fraction with the XCM and putting all over the XCM. So this is a shorter method. So 1 times 6 will give me 6, minus 1 times 4 will give me 4. All over a minus what? 2b. And finally, I have 6 minus 4 to give me 2. And I have a minus what? 2b as my final what? Answer. If I choose any value for a and b that does not make this denominator equal to 0, I will have the same value as when I substitute it here. This is like a check in theory. Let me assume my a is equals to 1 and my b is equals to 2. What I'm doing is to know if this final answer is correct for this. Now I have my 6 all over, my a is 1 minus my b is 2. So I have 2 bracket 2 plus 4 all over my b is 2. So I have 2 bracket 2 minus 1. And I have 6 minus 1 minus 2 times 2 is what? 4. Plus 4 all over 2 times 2, 4 minus 1. Giving me 6 all over negative 3 plus 4 all over what? 3. This can cancel this to give me negative 2 plus 4 over 3. This can be over 1. Now, XCM of 1 and 3 is what? 3. 1 into 3, 3. 3 times minus 2, minus 6. Plus 3 into 3, 1. 1 times 4, 4. Minus 6 plus 4 is just like you are owing 6 naira, you pay 4 naira, you are still owing 2 naira. So I have negative 2 all over 3 for the substitution of this. If I put 1 and 2 for A and B here, and it doesn't give me this, then this my solving is wrong. So let's see. 2 all over A minus what? 2B. I have 2 all over A is 1 minus 2 bracket. My B is what? My B is 2. So I have 2 all over 1 minus 2 times 2, 4. And I have 2 all over 1 minus 4 is what? Negative 3. Smaller number subtracting a bigger number. You use the bigger number to subtract the bigger number and you use the bigger number to subtract the smaller number and you put a negative sign. So you can see that minus 2 over 3 is equal to 2 over what? Minus 3. Because the minus can be on either position. On either position. You can put it in between the subtraction sign. So both are what? Correct. So let's move on to the next example. If I have, let me say 3a. I have 3a all over 2a plus b minus b all over 4a plus 2b. Remember, we are simplifying, but this time relating to addition and subtraction. Now, if I have this, the first thing I have to notice is that there's something common between 2 and what? 4. Nothing is common here. So I'll simply have 3a all over 2a plus what? B minus b all over 2 is common, so I have 2. 4a divided by 2 will give me what? 2a plus 2b divided by 2 will give me what? B. Now you see that these two brackets are the same except these two. So my XCM will be this because the bracket is enclosed with this as well. Both are equal except these two outside. So my XCM will be 2 bracket what? 2a plus what? B. If I put my 2a, my 2 bracket 2a plus b as my denominator, if this cancels this, I'll have 2 left. So I have 2 bracket what? 3a minus, if this cancels this, I'll have 1 bracket what? B. 2 times 3a will give me what? 6a minus b all over. I can choose not to expand this. 2 bracket what? 2a plus what? b as my final what? Answer. Put 6. We have 3mn all over 2m squared plus 2n squared plus 5mn all over 3m squared plus 3n squared. Now what do I have to do here? If I see the denominator here, I know that I have 2 in common. So I have 3mn all over 2 brackets m squared plus n squared. Why? When 2m squared is being divided by 2, I have m squared left. And when 2n squared is being divided by 2, I have n squared. Plus I have 5mn all over 3 is common. I have 3 bracket 3m squared divided by 3 will give me what? M squared. And 3n squared divided by 3 will give me what? N squared. So my LCM simply, this don't need to be repeated. So this and this is part of my LCM, followed by 2 and 3. So my LCM will be 6 bracket m squared plus n squared. Let me prove it so you understand. We have 2 m's in bracket m squared plus n squared, and also 3 brackets m squared plus n squared. 2 is the first number that should go. I'll have what? M squared plus n squared left. 2 cannot divide 3, and I'll have m squared plus what? N squared. 3 will go. I'll have m squared plus what? N squared. And here will give me what? 1, which is what? M squared plus what? N squared. And finally, I'll divide through by n squared plus n squared. And I'll have 1, 1. So my LCM is 2 times 3, which is 6, bracket m squared plus n squared, like I said. So I have 6 brackets m squared plus what? N squared. So at the denominator, I have 6 brackets m squared plus n squared. Now, this we cancel this, and I have 6 divided by 2 will give me what? 3. So I have 3 bracket 3mn plus, if this divide this, I'll have 6 and 3 left, and if 6 is divided by 3, I'll have 2, and I'll put this in brackets 5mn. Now this times this will give me what? 9mn plus 2 times 5 will give me 10. I'll attach my mn all over what? 6 brackets m squared plus what? N squared. 9 plus 10 is what? 19. So I'll have 19mn. Why? Because mn is what? They are common terms. All over 6 brackets m squared plus n squared. And this is the final what? Answer. Our next question is, let me say this is 6, so this becomes 7. So our example 7 is 1 all over 4x minus 2y minus 1 all over y minus 2x. How do we simplify that? Now first, let's look for what's common. There's nothing common here, but something is common here, which is 2. I'll have 1 open bracket, 2 is common, so 2 divided 4x. 4x divided by 2 rather gives me what? 2x minus 2y divided by 2 gives me what? Y minus 1 all over y minus what? 2x. Now if you observe again, why this 2x positive, this is negative 2x? And why this is what? Negative y, this is positive what? Y. I'll try to rearrange. And I'll have 2 brackets. Let's here remain the same. And here become negative 2x plus what? Y. So let's proceed. So if you observe now, this is 2x, this is negative 2x. This is minus y, this is positive y. And I'll have this as same, 2x minus y. Yes, minus. If I change this to plus, then all these brackets will be changed to 2x minus what? Y. And you see now, then I have 2x minus y in common. So my XCM will be equals to 2 bracket 2x minus y. And I'll put my XCM as the denominator, 2 bracket 2x minus y. If this divide this, I'll have 1. And I'll have 1 bracket 1 plus. If this divide this, I'll have 2 left. And I'll have bracket what? 1. And I can simply have 1 times 1 to give me 1 plus 2 times 1 to give me 2 all over what? 2 brackets 2x minus y. 1 plus 2 is what? 3 all over 2 bracket 2x minus y as my final what? Answer. Okay, ma finish, Abi? So example 8, we have a plus b all over ab minus b plus c all over bc. So our XCM will be equals to AB and BC. A go, we have B left, and this will give me what? BC. B go, we have 1, we have C. And C go, we have 1, 1. So our XCM will be equals to ABC, this multiplying. That becomes our XCM. And we have our ABC. If ABC is being divided by AB, I'll have C left. So I have C brackets A plus B. Put my negative sign. Whenever I see negative sign, I always use a square bracket. If ABC is divided by BC, I'll have A, and I'll have in brackets B plus C. Now, C times A will give me AC, plus C times B will give me BC, minus A times B will give me AB, plus A times C will give me what? AC. All over ABC. Now, I have AC plus BC. Negative times invisible positive will give me negative AB, and negative positive will give me what? Negative AC. All over ABC. I have AC, I have AC here. So I have AC minus AC. And I have my plus BC. And I have my minus AB. All over what? ABC. AC minus AC will cancel out to 0. And I have BC minus AB left. Plus BC is same thing as BC, since it's the fixed value, fixed expression coming out. All over what? ABC. Now you can see that B is common. I'll factor out my B. BC divided by B will give me C. AB divided by B will give me what? A. All over what? ABC. And B can cancel B, and my final answer is C minus A. All over what? AC. Example 9. Example 9 is u square minus v square all over uv plus u over v minus 3uv minus u square all over v square. How are we to solve this? We have 3 terms which are this, and this. First thing again, we must take our XCM. We have u, v, v, and v square. So our XCM should be u, v square. You can make your verification. Because if you divide, you have u left, and I have u. If u divide, I have 1, 1, and I'll have v. And if v divide again, I'll have uv squared as my what? XCM. Now, I'll use my XCM at the bottom. uv divided by uv squared. This is uv squared divided by uv. The uv squared is same thing as uvv. uv cancel uv, I have v left. And I'll have brackets u squared minus v squared. If v cancel uv squared, I'll have uv. So I have plus uv multiplying u. And if v squared divide uv squared, I'll have u left. So I'll have minus in brackets u, yes, brackets 3uv minus u squared, close brackets, all divided by uv what? Square. Now, I'll try to multiply to clear out what? Brackets. U times u, v times uv will give me u square v minus v times v square will give me what? V cube plus uv times u will give me u square v minus in brackets u times 3uv will give me 3u square v minus u times u square will give me what? U cube all over uv what? Square. Now opening these brackets again, I can rearrange this and this because they are common. I can put my u square v plus u square v minus v cube. Minus and invisible plus minus, or have 3u square v. And minus is what? Plus, or have u cube all over uv square. So, u square plus u square will give you certainly 2u square v. And I have minus v cube minus 3u square v plus u cube all over my XCM uv square. Now, this and this are common. So I will have 2. Or let me just do it directly. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So I have u square v negative. And I have negative v cube and positive what? U cube all over uv square. Do I have anything in common? Absolutely no. So I can choose to rearrange this. And I can take this as u cube minus u square v minus v cube. Since they are cubed, the two cubes should be at the edges. All over what? uv what? Square as my final answer. So here is the question on the board again. And this happens to be question 9. I have uv, u and v square at the bottom. So let's say our SCM, uv, u and v square. So u go gives me v, gives me 1, gives me what? V. V square rather. And v go gives me 1, gives me 1, gives me v. And v go gives me 1, 1, 1. So my XCM is equals to what? uv square. Now, we have our XCM as our what? uv square. uv square divided by uv, we have v left. And we have u square minus v square at the top. Plus, uv square divided by u will give me what? V square bracket what? V. Minus uv square divided by v square will give me what? U, but I'll put it in square brackets. So I have my u, bracket 3uv minus what? U square, close bracket. I will expand. This will give me what? U square v minus v cube plus v cube minus open bracket, square bracket. U times 3uv will give me 3u square v minus u times u cube. U square will give me what? U cube. Close my bracket, all over uv what? Square. Now, you can simply see that minus v cube plus v cube will cancel to give me what? 0. And I have u square v minus an invisible plus is what? Minus. I'll have my 3u square v. Minus will give me plus. I'll have what? U cube. All over uv square. Now, we can simply see that u is common. And if I pick one u out, I will have u square v divided by u to give me uv. Minus u divide 3u square v will give me 3uv plus u cube divided by u will give me what? U square. All over uv square. Rather, what's common is u square. Rather, I made a mistake. U square is common. So this will give me v. And this will give me 3v. And this will give me what? U. Yeah. So you see that this can cancel this, and I'll have u in brackets. V minus 3v will give me minus what? 2v. And I have my plus u all over what? V square. Now I can choose to rearrange to have u brackets u minus 2v all over what? V square as my final what? Answer. The next question is next question here is question 10. We have d plus 1 all over 2d minus 8 minus d plus 12 all over 12 minus 3d. How do we treat this? At the denominator, 2 is common for this left-hand fraction, while the right-hand fraction, 3 is common. So I have d plus 1 all over 2 bracket 2d divided by 2 gives me d, minus 8 divided by 2 gives me 4, minus d plus what? 12 all over what's common is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, minus 3d divided by 3 will give me what? D. Now you see why here is positive d, here is negative d, and why here is negative 4, here is positive 4. So I'll simply have d plus 1 all over 2 bracket d minus 4 minus, if I change this minus to plus, I can leave here the way it is. I can have here as what? Negative 4 plus what? D. And I'll have d plus 1 all over 2 bracket d minus 4 plus d plus 2 all over 3 brackets. Rearranging this gives me d minus 4. So we can see that our XCM will give me this times this and one of this. So our XCM will be equals to 6 bracket d minus 4. And I have this as my XCM, 6 bracket d minus 4. If this divide this, if this is being divided by this, I will have what? 3 in brackets d plus 1 plus, if this divide this, I'll have the what's remaining will be 2. Because 6 divided by 3 is 2, this will cancel out. So I have 2 brackets d plus what? 2. And this again will give me what? 3 times d is 3d. 3 times 1 is what? 3. Plus 2 times d is 2d. And 2 times 2 is what? 4. All over my XCM, 6 brackets, d minus 4. Now, 3d plus 2d will give me what? 5d. And plus 3 plus 4 will give me what? Plus 7. All over 6 bracket d minus 4. And this becomes my final what? Answer. Our next question is, let me see, 3 all over m minus n plus m plus 3n all over m minus n raised to power what? 2. This is EX11. So this is a repeated root. So this is inside this. So my XCM will simply be m minus n close bracket square. And that will be at the denominator, m minus what? N close bracket what? Square. If n minus n close bracket square divide this, I'll have 1 m minus n left. And it will multiply what? 3. Plus, this cancels this will give me 1. Bracket m plus what? 3n. 3 times m, 3m. 3 times minus n will give me minus 3 what? N. Plus 1 times m is m. 1 times 3m is what? 3n. All over what? M minus n close bracket square. Now 3m plus m, they are like terms, giving me what? 4m. Minus 3n plus 3n, we cancel out to give me what? 0. So I have 4m all over m minus n all square. As my final what? Answer. So we have a plus b all over a minus 2b close bracket square minus 1 all over 2b minus a. Now, here is positive a, this is negative a. This is negative 2b, this is positive 2b. So we'll focus on the inner to give me a plus b all over a minus 2b in bracket square. Since this is square, it's better I focus on this. I'll have 1 all over. Rearranging this will give me negative a plus what? 2b. Now, I'll have a plus b all over a minus 2b close bracket square. Remember, our aim is to make this to be exactly this, the inner bracket. The two terms, this inner bracket and this, we want them to be exact. Now, if I change here to plus, I will simply change the denominator signs to give me a minus what? 2b. Negative a become positive a, and positive a become negative what? The negative, positive 2b become negative 2b. So, this is okay. Now, let me show you something also. If I use this to multiply the denominator, I'll have plus times minus to give me a, and plus times plus to give me a, and plus times minus to give me negative or 2b. And if I do same here, negative will give me positive a, and negative positive will give me what? Negative or 2b. So they are exact. This expression is exactly the same as this expression. Take notes. Take note. They are exact. Now, I will have a plus b all over a. No, rather, I can take my XCM now. XCM will be this repeated, which is a minus what? 2b in bracket what? Square. Why? This is inside this. Now, I'll put my long division. I have my a minus what? 2b all what? Square. A minus 2b square divide a minus 2b square will give me 1. Or I have bracket what? A plus what? B. Or put my plus sign. And a minus 2b squared divided by a minus 2b, I have a minus 2b left. So I have a minus 2b multiplying what? 1. So this simply will give me what? 1 times a is a, 1 times b is b, plus 1 times everything here will give you same. So I'll still have a, and plus minus is minus, I'll still have minus 2b. All over what? A minus 2b all what? Square. And I'll have a plus a to give me what? 2a. plus b minus 2b will give me minus b, all over a minus 2b, all what? Square. Now, you will notice again that these two are alike. Why here is positive 2a, this is negative 2a. And why here is b, here is what? So there's nothing alike. And this is my final what? Answer. The next on our list here should be a little more tougher. I have 3c all over c square minus d square minus 3d all over d square minus c square. Now I have my 3c all over, this is difference of 2 square. So I'll simply say c minus d, bracket c plus what? D. I'll have my minus 3d, and I'll have my what? D minus c, bracket what? D plus c. Now, why here is c plus d, here is equally c plus d, good to go. So let me arrange it again to give me 3c all over c minus d in bracket c plus d. Now, 3d. C comes before what? D. So let my c come first to give me negative c plus what? D. And this can be rearranged to give me c plus d. They are alike. C plus what? D. Why? D plus c is same as c plus d. Because if I have 2 plus 3, is same thing as 3 plus what? 2. Both gives me what? 5. Now, I want all my expression to be exact. I will put my 3c here, all over c minus d, bracket c plus d. I will change this sign to plus, and I'll change this. And this will give me 3d, all over, this become what? Positive c, since I've changed this sign, and this become negative what? D. Take note, you are only going to use it for one of the brackets. You are not use it for the entire bracket. Because if I have, let me say 2, bracket 1 all over 2 times 3, negative. I can say this will give me 1 all over minus times plus minus. I'll have 4 times 3. And I'll not put minus again here. No, it's only affecting one of them. No, this 2 is here. The negative sign is either affecting the first fraction, the first value or the second value. It can't affect the 2 at the same time. So this becomes 2 all over minus 2 times what? 3, giving me what? 1 rather, all over 2, giving me 1 all over what? Minus what? 6. So the same thing we are doing here. This negative sign, this, if I change this, the sign that will change will only be one of them. Either I change here or I change the signs here. But I change the signs here, so that this and this will be equal. And also this and this are already what? Equal. So my XCM will be one of them. C minus D and what? C plus what? D. C minus D and what? C plus what? D. If this cancels this, I'll have 1. I'll have 3C. Plus, if this cancels this, I'll have what? 3D. So my final answer becomes, this won't even be my final answer. I have 2 more steps to go there. So my final answer, my answer there, my next step become 3 is common. 3 brackets 3c divided by 3 will give me c, and 3d divided by 3 will give me what? D. All over c minus d and c plus what? D. So you see c plus d can cancel c plus d, and my final answer is 3 all over c minus what? D. EX12. So our next question is this. 4n minus 9n all over 16n squared minus 9n squared plus 1 all over 4n minus 3n. We can see that there's nothing in common between 16n squared and 4n minus 3n. So our XCM will be equals to 16 m square in bracket 4m minus what? 3n. I'll put my xm 16m square bracket 4m minus what? 3n. If I have this xm divided by this, I'll have this left. So I have 4m minus 3n in bracket 4m minus 9 what? N. Minus, if this cancels this, I'll use my square bracket. I'll have 16m square in bracket 9n square plus 1. Now I'll expand. 4m times 4m will give me what? 16m square. Minus 4 times 9, 18, 18, 36. So I have 36mn. Minus times plus, minus 3n times 4m will give me 12mn. Minus times minus plus 3n times 9n, 27n square. Minus in square brackets 16 times 9, 16 times 9, 9 times 6 52, 54, 4 carry 5, 9 times 1 9 plus 5 14. So I have 144 m square n square plus 16 m square times 1 will give me what? 16m square. Close brackets, all over my xm 16m square in brackets 4m minus 3 what? N. Now, this remains the same, 16m square minus 36 minus 12. Since they have mm as common term, they are common, they are what? Like terms. We have what? Minus 48mn plus 27n square minus and invisible plus is minus. So I have 144 m square n square minus plus minus 16m square all over 16m square in bracket 4m minus what? 3n. Now we see that 16m square is common. They can cancel out. 16m square minus 16m square gives you 0. So I'm left with this, and this, 3 terms. So I'll prefer my 27 come first since it's positive. So I have 27n square minus 48mn minus 144 m square n square all over my xn 16m square in bracket 4m minus what? 3n. Now I can see that this is n, this is n square, this is n square. There's no n. So n is common. And for my numbers, I have 27, 48, and 144, and 3 can divide all. Can 3 divide? Can 3 divide this? Yes. Can 3 divide this? 3 into this is 4, and into 60, into 24. So it's possible. So I bring my 3n at 27 divided by 3 is what? 9. Because 3 times 9 is 27. So you attach your n. Because n squared divided by n is what? N. Minus 3 into 4, 1. Remaining 18. 3 into 18 will give you 5, 6. 6. Then mn divided by n. I have what? M left. Minus 14 divided by 3 is 4. I have 2 left. 3 times 8, 24. So I have 8. Which is 24 here. Into 3 will give you what? 8. I will put my m square and I'll have n squared divided by n. I have my n left. Close brackets. All over my 16m square in brackets. Bracket 4m minus what? 3n. 3 times 9, 27. N times n, n square. 3 times 6, 18. 8 carry 1. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. 3 times 8, 24, 4 carry 2. 3 times 4, 12 plus 2, 14. So our final answer is absolutely correct. Now we have this. M plus n square all over n square minus n square plus m square plus mn all over n square minus mn. This is a repeated root, remember. This becomes m plus n in brackets m plus n. This is difference of 2 square. M minus n bracket what? M plus n. Put my plus sign. This is, we see that m is common. Or have m bracket m squared divided by m is m plus mn divided by m is what? N. All over n is common, n. N squared divided by n is what? N. And mn divided by n is what? N. You can simply see that this can cancel this. And I'll have m plus n all over m minus n plus m bracket m plus n all over. I can rearrange this to give me negative n, negative m plus n, close bracket, my n at the front. I only rearrange this so that since m comes first, and since n follows, n follows. Now you see that why here is m, here is negative m. Why here is negative n, here is positive what? N. So I can change this and change this bracket. So I have m, I will have m plus n all over m minus n plus m bracket m plus what? N all over n in bracket. If I change my plus now to minus, all the bracket I want will change. Negative m will become positive what? M, and positive n will become negative what? N. By this and this are now what? Equal. So I can have my xcm to be equal to n bracket m minus what? N. If I put my xcm at the bottom, or have this dividing this to give me n left, or have n bracket m plus n minus, I will use my word square bracket. This is negative because this is negative sign, and I'll have n bracket n minus n divide n bracket n minus n will give me what? 1, because anything dividing itself is 1. And I'll have my m bracket m plus what? N. Now we can see that m plus n is here, m plus n is here. They are therefore what? Common. I'll bring it out. I'll have my m plus what? N in brackets. If that divide this, I will have what? In brackets n left minus. If this divide this, I'll have m left in brackets m, which can be what? Open if I choose to. N bracket m minus what? N. So I have m plus n in brackets n minus what? M, close bracket, all over n bracket m minus n. Now check. M plus n multiplying n gives me this, and m plus n multiplying m gives me this. So this step is correct, and this is equally what? Correct. Now the next thing I have to do is to check if something can cancel out. Why this n here is positive, this is negative? Why this is positive, my m is positive, m is what? Negative. So I will rearrange this to give me m. Let me put this one at the front so that it won't confuse you. N minus m bracket m plus what? N, which is like difference of 2 square here. All over what? This I want to put it at the back. Bracket m minus m, because my focus is this and this, which have come to the front. Now, if I put negative here, I'll put negative here. Remember, it's the same as putting negative at the top. N minus m bracket m plus what? N all over m minus n bracket what? N. Now, if you check, I want to use this to multiply this. I'll have negative bracket n minus m bracket m plus n all over negative bracket. I'm using this to multiply, right? This times this will give me negative m, and this times this will give me positive what? N in bracket n. Coming further, I'll have negative n minus m in brackets m plus n all over. This can be rearranged to give me what? N minus m, because plus n minus m, since n is the first term, the positive sign can be neglected. bracket what? N. This can therefore cancel this, and I'll have negative m plus n all over what? N. I can choose to enclose this. Thank you. I can still choose to neglect it, the brackets. Thank you. And we'll look up seeing you in our next video. Thank you.